Hello, and in this video, I want to share with you a little bit about how I'm working through fear right now. It feels like there's lots of fear around at the moment, like whether you think about just the general day to day of what people are dealing with the cost of living and worrying about money, which is a basic human survival need, isn't it? Not just about money, but I know for myself, there's change about. There has been change for um, quite a lot of us in recent times. Those of you that are coming from a spiritual nature, so there has been like some sort of shift in your vibration and up level, and that creates change. And as we settle in, there's fear present around that, which is actually quite normal when we do experience change. So I just wanted to come to you and just really have a chat about that and where we're at with that and how to move through it in a little way. And excuse me. So firstly, let's identify when it's about. And I know for me, when I've got fear operating, it really sits in my gut and I feel very tense. I don't feel like I'm centered or connected at all in the core of who I am. So that's one thing that's going to identify it for you. Any anxiety, any pressure, um, any, I guess, even I'm just being told when we sort of are going through our day and we are just sort of on automatic pilot and working through our to-do list and really not grounded in presence, that's when we'll have an element of fear occurring. So it's important for us, one, to question that. And I guess that's one of the first things I do is if I'm not aware of where it's coming from. Most of the time I am, but if I'm not aware of where it's coming from, I will gravitate towards my journal and I will sit and question it and I will just explore how I'm feeling about things and just explore within my using the written word, my journal, about um, just being aware of what thoughts come up as I start to question where is the fear coming from. And I guess for me, that helps me connect and it helps me ground in a little more. Secondly, I generally then will acknowledge the fear because for me, I have a big belief in the fact that when we acknowledge and are in integrity of our truth, whatever that might be, good, bad, ugly, we still have the ability to create flow. It's when we push it away and ignore it and not connect in with it that we create blockages. So for me, acknowledging the fear is a massive step in overcoming it. And I know for me, one of the things that's around about now is like over in recent times, I've sort of had a shift in vibration. It has created a different set of circumstances for me. Personally, my connection to spirit is different. Therefore, being that it's different, there's this elevation of working with the angels that I never in a million years would ever have expected to be doing. And this is different for me, and they are bringing through lots of change. They're changing how I thought my business would go, changing the plan I'd already been working on. It's created a different set of circumstances in um, my everyday life and the not so normal, not so real job that I work in to supplement income at this stage. There are changing circumstances there. So, so for me, I'm having to work through these changes that were a little unexpected. Um, and as much as I know that they are in alignment for me and they are in purpose, there's still this elevation of it's different, it's unexpected, therefore, um, there's a level of fear. How will people perceive me? It's not as down to earth and organic as what I'm used to. Um, but I guess the thing is, I still have to just trust and bring an element of me to it. And me is someone that is very down to earth, even if I'm talking about angels these days. um, but as I'm saying all of this, I can still feel that fear sitting in my gut. So the first things, as I said, working through it would just be to acknowledge and just be truthful with yourself in that way. The next thing, as I'm working through, and part of me doing this video is asking the angels to come in and offer information. And one of the things that they're sort of saying is to come back to our gratitude practice. So if you have a gratitude practice or you don't, if you don't have one, it's a good time to actually implement one when you are experiencing fear, is to come back to that gratitude practice and just at the end of the day just really think about your day and what the highlight was and how you feel about your day, and just generate that feeling of gratitude for being here, for being the spirit messenger that you are, and for all the connections that we experience every day is what I'm being inspired with, to appreciate those connections. And that's actually like a really good foundation with which to build your business connections from. So, and in which, because having a spiritual business is all about building relationships. So if you got into a flow, as they're sharing with me, of really being grateful at the end of the day for all the client connections that you've had, for all the collaboration connections that you've had, then where attention goes, reality flows, and it's only going to grow more. It's only going to grow more for you from that space. So I'm going to say that that's one of the tips that I'm going to implement from today for sure. So so work with that and let me know how you go. Um, so so gratitude practice. And oh, they're telling me I can leave it there. So I'm just going to summarize for us. Is really essentially when is to journal. Come back to your journal, acknowledge your fear, acknowledge where your fear is coming from. If you're not sure where it's coming from, then question it, and it'll, have a soul conversation with yourself through your journal. Learn to identify how fear operates for you. And as I said, it sort of sits in my gut. It's like a big knot. And I know for me, if I actually start moving down the pathway of fear, I can have a physical pain in my gut. in my solar plexus. Um, so identify, journal, be in truth and integrity with how you feel about your fear, and come back to your gratitude practice. Come back to focusing on what's important for you, and be it, your business, your connection to spirit. Come back to gratitude. So, and build in those sort of practices of what your highlights are for the day. And the number one tip for those of us that are overcoming fear and you operating a spiritual business would be gratitude, and specifically focusing on the connections you have every day. So I'll leave that with you with those thoughts, and I'll see you next time.